God. I'm talking and it's mute.
You're
What a way
going
to
on.
start the day.
Yeah, you were in a rush this morning. Go ahead. Repeat.
You know what's so funny about that? I knew you were gonna say that. And the day that I was like 2 minutes late, you were already on with the guest, which I thought was interesting. So
When?
I just figured that was going to be the new thing. It's like, okay, we'll just hop on. I walked in to you saying, "Oh, she'll be on in a minute." That was that day that I was on the wrong one. Remember, I was on the wrong feed, and you started the show, and I jumped on afterwards because I was on the wrong the day. So good morning. I figured you'd jump on. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. Happy Thanksgiving, day of gratitude, day of thanks. It is chilly here, but sunny and very pretty, very wintry in southern Connecticut. I am the badass Buddha, Lori Monaco, and welcome.
Hola, mi gente, aquí con la Margarita. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Yes, I'm here in Tampa. The sun is slowly rising. I don't know what's the temperature, but good morning. That's it. I don't know. I haven't been outside. You know, in Florida, you live in AC, so you don't know whether it's cool out or not until you go out. So
That's
yes.
the truth. That's the truth. You're wearing your Viva shirt today. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Can you show it off to everybody? We still have them. I mean, if people want them, we still have them or no? Can we still make some?
No,
Or
I
not for a
sold
bit?
all my equipment.
Okay.
This is my old one. One of the first one. You see it?
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. And we have the Viva cup. We'll get them back on. We'll get them back on the available maybe after the first of the year. Um, so you ended up not going into work yesterday, huh?
Why can't I share? I was sharing just fine yesterday, Tuesday.
I don't know. I haven't even tried yet.
Mm.
So
Yesterday was a
you
very.
you didn't go into work yesterday. Remember you were talking about that on the show Tuesday? Oh. All right then, everybody. So good morning, Marina Rivera. Good morning, Tiffany Bryan. We're happy to have you on, and let us know how your day's going to be. What's up? What's scheduled for you today? What is it that you're going to do? What is it? Where are you going to go? Or if you're not going anywhere, are you hosting, or is it just going to be a nice, quiet day for you? It is going to be on our end. Usually we host, but my dad has not been well. And we opted not to do any hosting because we didn't know if he was going to be able to handle a lot of people coming in and out. So we opted to not do that. We're hoping that he feels better because his birthday's Christmas Eve. And we're hoping that he feels good enough to be able to, be there to celebrate. So that's one of the goals. That's one of the things that we would like to do. So yeah, share with us. Let us know what your day's going to look like today.
Yes. And as the holidays begin, people remember today is, to me, I never consider Halloween a holiday. Thanksgiving is the beginning of the Burrs holidays. It's the doorway into Christmas and then New Year's and then Three Kings Day. So remember, be kind and be filled with gratitude during Thanksgiving. It is my favorite holiday. Everything about Christmas is great to me up until Christmas Day because then it's all over. But Thanksgiving, you eat, you drink, you celebrate with the people you love. And then the next day is sort of like a more milder repeat of Thanksgiving. But you're still filled with gratitude. You're still eating leftovers. You're either people stood over, you went over there. And so it's beautiful. Let's just try to enjoy every moment we have with the people we love.
Yeah.
That's my happy Thanksgiving to you.
Yeah, it's so true. You're absolutely right. I'm right there with you. I like Thanksgiving because there's no presents. You just show up to show up, to be there. And you're right, never thought about Friday being like a quieter repeat. For a lot of people, they are off. And I think that's the cool part is that I've met so many people over the last couple of days who actually said, and they own their own businesses. They're like, "Oh no, I'm off. We're off," and that gave them and their employees a 4-day weekend. And it's like the only one of the only times that we can like, or we feel that it's okay to have that, like, get that permission to just have, especially if you don't, if your place is closed on Saturdays and Sundays. And I think that's really great. And Christmas comes so quickly. And I'm the same way. I like the decorations and I love the whole leading up. And then literally the day after Christmas, I'm ready to take the tree down because I'm done. Um, I know you said you like to keep it up for Three Kings Day,
Hmm.
but for in my mind, I'm just okay. That was it. I'd rather put the Christmas stuff up like now than and then take it down right away. And it's I've noticed. I don't know if you've noticed it where you live. A lot of people around here have actually put up their Christmas decorations. They did it last weekend, a little earlier than I've ever seen, and it was actually kind of nice to see it. I was like really enjoying it.
Yeah, they started here. Um, it's funny because normally growing up, we always put the tree up right before Thanksgiving, and then we kept it up until the day after the 6th of January, after Three Kings Day. But you're right. There's sometimes the day after Christmas, you're like over all of it. That's why I said I love all the days leading up to the day of Christmas. That fills me with like, I don't know. It's just this. You can't even express that when you see the houses dressed up in the lights and you hear the Christmas music, and it's like I don't know, from Thanksgiving up to Christmas Day, it's a perpetual joy. You just look around and you see the decorations, and even the people seem happier, and they got their little jingle bells as earrings, and they're walking around with hats and ugly sweaters, and I don't know, just it's like a constant tickle from Thanksgiving Day to Christmas Eve. That's what I love. And yes, Tiffany, I was reading. Mom and I are watching together this morning. Today will be a quiet day with mom and son watching movies and eating great food. See, that's beautiful.
Yes.
Marina, happy Thanksgiving. Are you cooking, Marina? Because this is what I'm going to be 54. This will be maybe 40 something years because we should take out really the first 10 years of my life. That I think I hosted Thanksgiving like twice in my life. And that was two times too many. So my sister's cooking, my niece is cooking, my daughter Tiffany, she's cooking at her house. My niece Stephanie here is cooking at her house, and I'm going to work.
Oh yeah,
So
that's right. Are you going to get to eat before you go?
no, I try not to eat before I go um, to work. I don't know why that's been happening, but anyway, no, I'm not. It's okay. It does. Let me ask this to everybody watching, and you too, badass. Do you find that you probably add one different plate every Thanksgiving, but everything else is always the same?
That's a good question. Um, I don't know if I add one new plate. I think we kind of got down to a science where we just do the same stuff.
Yeah, what a science is that? There's no magic. Like I listen to people and they're like, oh my god, I gotta season the turkey. I gotta get the pineapples for the ham. I don't know. What should I make? White rice or mashed potatoes? And I'm like, who gives a shit? It's always the same thing. It's always starch. And high caloric foods. And my niece I think is adding a lasagna today for the Thanksgiving, but it's always like arroz con gandule or something to that effect. And it's like, but even everywhere, like when Eric was alive, sometimes we would just go like really be really outrageous with life and go to Boston Market. But we enjoyed it because everybody was busy living and we were at home, you know, counting the days until death knot. But
Mm.
we still like we went, oh, what do you want? And we made our own holidays together at home. And I think that sets the tone for now. It's like I gotta go to work. It's really not. Oh my god, I can't believe I picked a job that works. I'm at the point where you know what? It's okay, right? It's okay because the same food I could always reheat it when I come home if that's what I want. But
Well,
hey,
and I think that sometimes, like, because we're not hosting this year and it's really just like low key. I mean, I'm going to do a turkey breast in the oven and just make a couple of things. But to me, I mean, I hate to look at it this way, but to me, it just feels like a day off. That's it. Like I don't have to do anything. I don't have to, I've canceled all my stuff for the day that I normally do on Thursdays. And that's it. It's like you can't really even go anywhere because nothing's open. And I'm looking at it like that sounds great. In fact, I like Tiffany's idea. I think I might just go ahead and watch some movies with my kids or something like that. That sounds like a lot of fun, and just to chill out and relax. The only thing I have to do is just Boston Market. I have to go there this morning and pick up food, but for somebody else. But other than that, I have nothing planned. So it doesn't even feel like Thanksgiving to me. It just feels like a day off, and I'm okay with that. Like I don't need to be around a lot of people. And so I understand where you're coming from with that you're going to work. It's sort of like it just is what it is. That's how Christmas Day has actually become to me as well, though. Christmas Eve was always a big celebration because it was my dad's birthday. And then Christmas Day we would go to my cousins, but over the years it's been more challenging for my dad to go anywhere. And Christmas Day has just become like just a nice quiet day. That's it. Just doing our own thing, and
and
I like it. I mean, there's nothing. I'm not complaining.
and I think the beauty of it is we get so bent out of shape when certain things are changed. Now, you said it was brilliant because people need to be reminded that it's okay to be at the age that you are today, have traveled the bumpy roads and maybe went into a ditch, blew your tire, because that's what life is about, right? It's about all the turmoil, the turbulence, and then it's clear skies. It's okay to change up how you celebrate the holidays and how you feel in those holidays. But there's a lot of people that still feel like they're losing touch with what was. And I think create your own, because Christmas to me, let me tell you, it's like growing up
Mhm.
um, with my mom on Good Friday, Lent. There was no meat eaten. And if you ate meat, she cursed you out on a Holy Friday. Don't figure it out yourselves. And then, so all those Fridays leading up to Good Friday, we could not eat any kind of meat. And then she would get up really early on Good Friday and make her famous bacalao salad, bacalaito salad. It's a cold salad with she'll boil the eggs, cut the onions, whatever goes into that again. And by 12, everything had to be done. All the floors had to be cleaned, the refrigerator, the stove gets pulled out, all the dust gets taken, everything. By 12, we couldn't do anything. And I think some holidays, they've gone to shit because of the stores being open. Like there's no respect anymore for holidays, and so the younger generation is not caring about the stuff we grew up with. I think it's our um, responsibility to teach our kids and school our grandkids that Thanksgiving is a holy holiday, because what it does is it brings everybody together. That one time a year, besides a funeral, it brings families together. Christmas to me has always been more of a personal in the house family thing, and then if we meet up later, okay. But Thanksgiving has always been that, and I think honor your family, and if you're gonna make something different, make something different. Introduce it. If you need to change up the menu to invigorate the families that come together, or accept a new in-law, your sons, your nephews, whoever's new girlfriend that wants to fit in and wants to bring something that looks horrible, accept it with grace, and then put it to the back, but accept it with grace. That's what the holidays begin with gratitude that you can cook, or you can have a gathering, or you can attend a gathering, and laugh more, use discernment, and just be grateful that you're surrounded by people you love and that love you. I think that's the best thing in a holiday. And Christmas should be, if you're gonna just spend watching movies, stay in your pajamas all fucking day,
I
but do
almost
what
did.
makes you happy.
I almost did. I almost kept my robe on this morning. I didn't want to take it off. It was so warm and comfortable. And I was thinking to myself, I wonder if I should just jump on like this. And then I thought we should do a pajama day one day. Just stay in our pajamas and do the show. Have everybody else stay in their pajamas. I think that would be nice.
That would be nice. Oh, Christmas falls on a Sunday. I was gonna say we can do that on Sunday, but I'm saying good morning to everybody coming on. And today marks the day where you need to put on your superheroine costume, your cape, hold your shield up of gratitude, because the holidays are stressful. They fill you with anxiety. You know, it's the beginning, it marks the beginning of high domestic violence because of anxiety, because of
Yeah,
stress of not having money
that's a
to,
good
to,
point.
to hold up today. Like so many people, like, I don't know if I'm going to have Thanksgiving because I don't know if my check's going to hit. I don't know if food stamps are going to come. Whatever your case is, if you have canned goods, you know where, concoct something for you and your little family and smile while you're eating it. It doesn't have to be this big turkey, this big ham, or whatever. It's whatever you put on the table that you did with love. Let's stop. We over glorify things. So domestic violence gets high with this. Suicides are high, beginning with today's holiday, moving up until past Three Kings Day. So let's be nice to everybody. Let's be kind. Let's smile. Let's be gracious. Let's be grateful for ourselves. And then let's enjoy the holidays like we did. Go and invoke those memories from when you were a child and add your little pizzazz to it today. That's what it's about. Las veo porque voy a cocinar y a escuchar la música de mis padres. I'll send you a piece of mucho love. Hasta luego. Oh, Lydia, thank you for even coming on. She says she sees us later because she's gonna go cook and listen to her parents' music during the holidays. And I
Oh,
understand, Lydia, my mom today will be playing El Super Trio. Um, is it Super Trio? Uh, Vicente Fernandez. She'll be playing all her oldies music that we grew up with and hated, and now we listen to it. We're like, oh, invoke those memories, mi gente. Hello, Amuka. So yeah, go ahead. I just wanted to. We didn't even say our mantra, but you know
I
what?
know. We just got right into this. This
Because
was the
it's so
beginning.
important for you to understand, to just let go of what. Stop looking at everybody else's page. They're probably stealing pictures from someone else's page to make themselves feel better. Walk in your truth today. Whatever it is you have, put it on the table with love. Smile, hug, share stories that makes all of you laugh. That's Thanksgiving. That's gathering together and making the best of what you have. Let's
Yeah.
stop stereotyping holidays that then send us down a shithole of debt, of insecurities, of anxiety, and of stress. Just be present. That's all you have to do is be present. Smile, laugh, dance, flash people your boobs. Just do whatever it is that makes you happy, makes your family happy. It makes it exciting that you's all gathered. That's what it's about.
So you got permission. If anybody asks you why you're flashing your boobs today, you say that Gladiator Guru told you to,
Flash,
and
flash,
that's
flash, flash.
phenomenal.
You know,
I listen when we talk about what we're thankful for. I'm thankful for Gladiator Guru's boobs. She hadn't flashed me in a while, and she flashed me the other day when we were talking, and I was like, oh my god, it's been such a while. See, that's a tradition. See, you could add new traditions, just like she was saying to add a new dish to the meal. Add a new tradition. We're gonna flash. I'm gonna flash you today.
listen, when you love your body, pick a part that's your favorite. Just like you don't like your whole outfit all the time. There's just the shirt might fit better than the pants and vice versa. But it's about, so what? They're my boobs and I can flash them to whomever,
That's right.
but uh, with discretion so that I don't catch a case of indecent exposure. But just be happy with what it is you do. And thank you. Thank you for even saying I hadn't done it in a while. And you were like, oh, there they are. Okay, let's do our intentions. Let's start.
Okay, so it's Thanksgiving. You still could set an intention for today. Maybe your intention has to do with the way you're hosting today or the people that you're with or whatever. So set your intention today, as always on Viva, in any way that you want. Create your intention, set it for what you believe is best suited for you, and you could change it at any time during the day. So set your intention today.
And do it in gratitude. Be grateful that you have today and the people around you and the food
Absolutely.
you're going to eat. And if you have extra and
Absolutely.
you've noticed somebody on the street on your way to where you're going, go bring them a plate. Be
That's a nice
grateful.
idea. That's a nice idea. All right, our mantra, let's get going. Here we go. Say it loud, say it proud. I am a disruptor.
I am a disruptor.
I am unapologetically courageous.
I am unapologetically courageous.
I am spiritually grounded.
I am spiritually grounded.
I am magically orgasmic.
Ole.
And I am beyond authentic.
And I keep it real.
And don't forget, we still are in our 32 or 32, our 32 day, our 30-day gratitude challenge. And just a reminder, and if you haven't been keeping up with it, that's okay. It's not like we're going to come over and grade you and make sure and check your books. But if you've not done it, do it today, do it tomorrow. We have a few days left. We have 6 days left of November. And you write down 5 things that you're grateful for. Pick 3 people that you are grateful for and tell them. Maybe you're telling them today when you are with them at the house. Tell them, pull them aside. You don't have to do it in front of and make a whole big to do of it, especially if they're kind of an embarrassed type of person. Pull them to the side and say thank you. Maybe you're going to somebody's house and eating there. You say, I'm really grateful. I'm grateful that you host these every year and I can just show up and it's, and don't feel bad for saying that because like I'm a host person. I like hosting. And when somebody just shows up with nothing, I don't care. Like, I don't care about that. Most people are like, oh, that person, they came and they didn't show up with anything. I don't care. There's no expectation. I'm like good with cooking everything. I just love the fact that you came. And if somebody came up to me and said, listen, thank you so much for hosting these all the time because I just love being here, that would be the greatest compliment for me, and I would love that. And then do at least one act of kindness today. So like Gladiator Guru said, maybe when you leave wherever you are, ask if you could put a little plate together and then see if anybody's out, asking for money and say, here, how would you like a nice home cooked Thanksgiving meal today? That would be actually pretty cool. So and then remember too that if you are thinking about sharing your story, become a badass warrior. A badass author, and join us for our book compilation. And we're posting it all the time on the channel, and so you can get the info there. But I'll put it in the chat as well. And here we go.
Yes. Just be grateful, and that's why I said earlier. Don't enough with the oh, look at this and look at that. Look at your mirror. You know what? Wipe your mirror clean, because you're obviously looking at a reflection that isn't real. When you're out there too busy judging and pointing fingers and talking about other people. So when you look in your mirror, make sure it's clean and make sure you're looking at everything that reflection is showing you. Fix what you can and embrace what you cannot, because you're going to be you whether you're in the mirror or not. So keep it real with yourself before you're pointing fingers at others. And let's start that. Let's start with today. You know what? I posted something about, don't ask me because I write so much shit. I don't remember, but I'm going to look for it. Um, where is it? It was about your mirror. Um, oh, don't be a cheap mirror. Always look to reflect and not deflect. If you didn't do nothing right, don't look for someone else who's doing something wrong so that it can be about them. So, and then repeat after me. I deserve the best of myself. I deserve it. I will reach it and never let it go once I begin walking in my truth. So, the best way not to be judgmental, not to be pointing fingers and putting someone else down, or like, oh, why did they do that? Is look in the mirror first, because you know what? We all have defects. We all have flaws, but we're all so fucking amazing.
Yep.
So make sure you grab that about yourself. So when you go out there, you just see magic in other people as well. Hello, my sister Connie. Milagros Medina. Oh, look at Nancy. Did you see what Nancy wrote?
I did, yeah.
Okay, good. I love when I see my sisters on y Milagritos. So that's what you do. You walk with discernment, in gratitude, and do it with intention. What's discernment? To make it short, it's just judging wisely. That's what it is, because it's so quick to say, look at that. Look, just because it's in your size doesn't mean you have to wear it. That's one of my favorites. And it's because I always wear layers and flowy clothes. But who am I to judge somebody who wants to wear a tube top and leggings and be 500 pounds? That's totally their decision, and we got to embrace that confidence about them. So continue with the 30-day thing. It is awesome. It is. It makes you also come up with ideas for yourself and to do work on new projects. I haven't worked on anything new in a while, and it's all coming back strong. I can smell it, I can taste it, I can listen to it. Sounds of the papers turning. So it's coming back, and that's what healing is all about. So let's continue. We did the mantra, we did the intentions, and now Badass Buddha, lead us into today's conversation.
Well, you started it. We were doing really well. Official Day of Gratitude. So maybe put in the comments, like, what are all of you grateful for? You know, that's we really can't talk about that enough. I was looking at, let me see if I could find it quickly. It's, you know how like when you want to find something, you never find it quick enough. But there was this beautiful post that somebody put on, and then I reshared it about gratitude. And I'm going to see if I can pull it up. Okay, it says gratitude. It says helps us to see what is there instead of what isn't. And I just thought that was really lovely. It helps us see what is there instead of what isn't. We focus so much on the bad or this issue or this challenge, and it sets the tone, and it creates our vibrational energy, and it puts us at a lower state. But when we talk about gratitude and what we're grateful for, it opens us up to receiving more, and then to be able to see beyond what's keeping us stuck. You know, we become a society of that. You know, we've become a society to focus on all the bad crap that happens. I mean, just in the last couple of days, if you have watched the news, I don't watch the news, but my mom has the news on a lot, and I'll walk by and she'll, you know, I'll catch stuff, or if I'm cooking, I'll hear something in the background, and it's it's crazy. It's a very crazy world that we're living in. And the thing is that we can't focus on that piece of it. It's not saying that we have to be blind to things. It's just saying that when we focus on that, we tend to bring it towards us. And so being grateful for something is, we have to always like put that out there. We have to write it, we have to say it, we have to tell the people that we're grateful for them. In fact, I was just talking about Gladiator Guru yesterday. I was doing my clubhouse. I do 2 rooms on Wednesdays, and both rooms I mentioned her, both rooms, and one of them, well, actually, it was both for a specific thing that happened that she did, and it was funny because it's sort of, that was that one pivotal thing that solidified the relationship that she and I have, and the way the relationship is, I'm grateful for. And I've told her this. It's not like I've never told her this. And it had to do with this one text message. I've said it before on the show that she sent to me at a time, because I was talking about in the room, I was talking about having your tribe, like getting your tribe in there, and getting the people around you that know what you've been through so that you could get the best support, rather than people who just don't even know you, and they don't understand what you've been through. So we were talking about the tribe. We were, in other words, friends, and the day that she sent me that text, I was in a tizzy because of my expectation of what I wanted to happen, and I thought it was the end. And I'm like, oh my God, this is it. I'll never get another chance, and blah, blah, blah. And I wanted so badly for somebody to just sink in with me and just say, yes, you were robbed, you were this, and just solidify that. And she sent me one text back, and it said, and what did you learn? And I was pissed at first. Like, I was like, oh, that's not what I wanted to hear. Like, I don't want to hear that. And then I took a breath and I answered the question. And it was at that point I realized this is really a true friend. Because it's not saying that true friends can't go down there with you. We can. Like, that's part of our job, is to sometimes do that. But a true friend also has that discernment. They can see which direction would be the better choice for you at this time. Sometimes it is, you have to just sit with them and say, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Or you just put it out there and say, pick yourself up, get off the floor, dust yourself off. You could do it. And that's what that text was. And so I'm grateful for the friendship that we have, because she's straight with me. She's honest with me, and she's accepts that with me as well. It's not one-sided either. Like, if she expects me, well, without expectation, but she knows that if she asks me something, I'll be straight with her, and she would prefer that. And so I'm grateful for, there's a lot of things that I could look at and go, woe is me, this sucks, this is not the way I wanted it to go. I mean, if any of you were paying attention, I am not in New Mexico. I was supposed to go to New Mexico, but things didn't feel right. Something was off. Like, something was just not vibing with me. And I decided to say, you know what? Before I do this and make a very costly mistake, I'm going to step back. And it still was costly because I had to break the lease for the rental property that I was renting. So I still had to shell out some money. And then literally like a week later, my dad is extremely sick. And then a week after that, he's in the hospital. And so I'm grateful that I listened to my gut. I'm grateful that divine intervention kicked in. I'm grateful that I had somebody to walk through this with me, like Gladiator Guru, going through this and talking to her and saying, this is what's going on. And I'm really mad at myself because I don't want to not go, but something's, and to have that person. So there's always stuff to be grateful for, even in your worst of the worst. If you sit there, you could still find what you're grateful for. And that helps you move into a much better direction and a much better place.
It really does. And you know what? People are like, I have nothing. You have everything. Every morning you wake up and you take a breath, even if you're like, fuck, I don't want to wake up, or woo, today's gonna be a great day. It doesn't matter what you're feeling at that moment. There's so much bullshit going on with these mindset people and think this and meditate on that. And yeah, that's good, but let's keep it real. You're gonna wake up like I did this morning and be like, fuck, if I could just sleep 10 more minutes. But you know what? So you have everything that's for you. Because whether you're feeling down or you're feeling hyper excited, you get up. You still get a new chance and a new day to be the best you can possibly be. Or to trip over yourselves because of your negative attitude, but still pick yourself up and be like, yeah, I gotta change. I have to stop thinking this way. Because it's so easy to be living in that woe is me type of mentality, even if it's just certain things. And I learned that the hard way. But to be grateful every day you wake up, it's that's you own that. You own that. So if you're gonna own something, value it on rainy days and on sunny filled days. Because those rainy days can bring you under a dark cloud. Accept and live in the fact that you're gonna have that and still be grateful. I personally love rainy days. Some people love rainy days with condition, like they do everything else in their lives. If you want to be loved genuinely for who you are, then stop loving outside of yourself with condition. Some people say, oh, I love rainy days when I'm home and I can be in my bed or on the couch watching TV. And I'd be like, oh, then we don't love rainy days the same way. I love rainy days to the point where I don't own an umbrella because then I'm loving those days with condition. So if I can love a weather I cannot predict with condition, what does that tell me about myself when I can love something on purpose but choose to put a cap on it? Those are the questions you got to ask yourself. Are you grateful for life and everyone around it, whether good, bad, or ugly? Or are you gonna pick this and then complain that shit ain't coming out your way? Be
Yeah, or
grateful.
are you grateful with conditions, just like you were saying with
Yeah.
love?
And a
Grateful.
lot of us are. And you listen to people talk, and then when they put that but in it, and it's like, ugh, I don't want to hear no more. Because you just got rid of everything you were talking about because you say it because it sounds good and it'll make you sound good to others, and then that insecurity steps in, and you put that but. So let me offer you a little advice. When you're going to say that and you're feeling like it's a little rickety rockety, but you don't want, you want to hold on, you don't want to fall, say yet changes the whole perception of what you're saying. So be grateful. Be grateful if you gain that 10 pounds. Be grateful that you're going to lose 15. Be grateful that I decided, thank you, sister, um, to buy this lipstick and it's matted. So it's going to take a lot of work to take it off before I go to work. But I love it because I haven't worn a dark lipstick in a while. Be grateful for the things, the choices you make, whether you like it or not. And if you don't like it, then you figure out what you're going to do with it. If I don't like it, I can't give it to nobody because I already put it on my lips, but I can paint on a canvas with it because it's a stain. So it can be for many uses. Now, everything you said was beautiful, Laura. And you know what? New Mexico was a great idea. You put that foot out on that journey and you prayed on it and you trusted his process. And then he's like, you know what? I let you come far enough because I needed you to realize what you are capable of. And to remind you that once you set your heart on something, I will guide you in the right way. But for now, I needed you to get past the thought of moving somewhere. And money can be replaced, but no, I need you to be here for now. And you followed that. And if we were to follow that, and stop complaining or forcing something upon ourselves because we don't want to look back because we said something. Stop. If you give me 2 minutes, Lord,
Yeah, go ahead. I'm loving the
this
conversation.
is something that I'm putting on my main uh, .com because I'm really so done with social media. But it said the question is, are you happy? And I've been asking that on social media, and people like, hey, Am I? But then, and you put out a good question on social media the other day, and I think you only got like four. I said something, and another female said something twice, and George wrote something, which was a phenomenal question to receive phenomenal responses. And that's what I said. I can't wait to read the responses. But not a lot of people ask. Why? Because a lot of people are lazy to the point where they don't even want to think for themselves. They don't want to research anything. So they listen to all this planned news to set fear into motion in your hearts. And then they don't go and research anything on their own. It's all bullshit anyway. Well, you got to stand for something. So it's all about when you live in your gratitude, then you have the energy and you have the little inquisitiveness to discover what is right to walk your path. So the question is, are you happy? Have you experienced an emptiness that newness cannot fill? New clothes, a new car, a bigger house, more frequent vacations or getaways, makeup, etc. The real question we must ask ourselves is, are we feeding our spirits? Are we investing in kindness and sharing and gratitude? This is how we nurture our ego. You know, that ego that pushes us to the edge of the cliff and whispers, jump. Because, well, all the people, places, and things have been unable to give us the fulfillment in which we seek. Don't jump. Your ego is simply riddled with anxiety. Anxiety that is the fear that is afraid of the fear. Once we learn to nourish our ego, we courageously vanquish this fear, and our ego becomes our and returns as it should as our biggest motivator towards the life we were born to live. Feeding our spirits kindness and gratitude towards the human we were born to be enlightens our spirit, which then nurtures our ego. We then learn to love our bodies right where it is in our now. Our bodies that have suffered the abuse of our travesties and remembers as it holds all the pain. By loving your bodies, we release the pain and it will feel safe and return to a healthy host. We then and only then will understand the assignment of unfucking your brain thoughts, dispelling the negative self talk, doubts, and self hate. Trust your you and all that you do by traveling down the healing boulevard that was paved for your journey. That's it. And then sign up for a 30-minute free call with me if you want to have coaching sessions with me. But that's what it's about. Are you happy? If you are happy, if you're somewhat happy, if you're partially there to be in that middle part of the spectrum happy, which means you will learn how to balance stuff, then you're better than you were yesterday. Then gratitude can start seeping in and that kindness and everything that the badass Buddha mentioned before I started running it. Because you know what? You can do everything you set your heart out to do. But love yourself in the process. Be happy. When you're happy, you look at people and you smile because you're grateful that you can see. You're grateful that you have the muscle stuff to smile. Then you hold the door open for somebody and they say thank you or not, but you're capable of holding the door open for somebody. That's kindness. And then you start breathing that in and you start believing it. And then guess what? You just do it, expecting nothing in return, yet you will receive everything that you deserve. Go ahead, Laura.
I'm grateful for the way Gladiator Guru writes.
Thank you.
I love listening to you read your stuff. It's so nice. It's just you kind of sit there and you just take it all in.
But you know what? Have you noticed there's not a lot of readers out there? I've asked, some of the people I work with. I'm like, hey, do you read? Have you read this? And they're like, girl, who got time for reading? I said, but I see you on TikTok. Yeah, but that's hearing. Okay, so, and I try to explain the love affair I have with the book. When I hold it, depending how it's a hardcover, if it's soft cover. Come on, Laura, you know what I'm talking about. When you open it up, there's a certain smell that a book gives off. I love old books. I love shopping at old books in thrift stores and everything because it absorbs everybody's scent of where it's traveled. It's a traveling
I
book. Like,
like the feel, the
yeah, then you
feel
turn
of
the
the
pages, and I
page.
love the feel of the pages in between my fingers. Yes, my Soul Searching for Peace is on audio. Yes, it is selling. Am I excited? I'm super excited every month when I receive money. And people are actually buying my audiobook and listening to it. I've never listened to the whole book. I've never put it on as I'm driving somewhere. And because I walk around my book with all the pieces all out of it, you know, and I've highlighted some in the badass one, and then now in the badass two, I've highlighted certain things that people say that really touched me and leads me to believe that they are in a better place today. Reading, it's just, it unfucks your brain of all the nonsense that you've stored up here, that you've heard that people said or you watched on TikTok or and stuff like that. And it starts filling up those voids and all that insecurity, because now your vocabulary is extensive. It's like you teleport to the characters in that story and you're like, who? And then you feel sad when you finish reading it. Read. It enriches your life, whether it's true stories from all the women in compilations. And then read, because you have a story inside of you that must be told. So if you don't know what's going on with the badass and you're just listening to it, go on Amazon, order the books. They're not expensive. Read through them. See how women write the different stories, but we come together as one. And then decide if your story should be told, because it is worthy. Your story is worth your investment in telling it. So read different stories from different women's and different happenings, and it will let you know that you are not alone in this world, and that your story might save a life, it might comfort a life, it might make someone laugh in their darkest moments. Think about that, because we all have a story to tell. Don't let that fear keep you from being an author. And if you go, Lori, how much is the second book on Amazon right now?
It's $5.95.
Come
It's
on.
still it's still on the it's usually it's $16.95, but Amazon slashed the price
And I'm
because it's
believing it did that for these new authors that still are on the fence whether they should join us in badass story number 3. Go and order it, because it's the holidays, Christmas is coming, but invest in yourself this Christmas. Stop buying the bullshit gifts for everybody, or going somewhere that you don't want to be at. Invest in yourself and put your story out.
and that
And
and
so buy that book for five whatever. It's under $6. Can you invest $6 in reading and learning the different styles and the dynamics of these different women and what they went through and how they brought that story out, that you could almost see their characters dancing? There's one that talks about being in a boat in a hurricane, and when the way she described everything, I visualized it. So, and I'm an author, and to read that from another author, it was like, wow, I love that. Make reading your new favorite. Like my favorite movie is Elf. I love it. I don't care how old it is. I watch it all the time. And when they said stop smiling, it was like, yeah, I love smiling. Smiling is my favorite. Make reading your favorite, because it's going to enrich your life. And
oh,
then
maybe we'll watch
invest in,
that show today.
huh? Right? It's good. All right.
And so it happiness in general starts with gratitude. You want to be able to really think about what you're happy for. Think about what you're grateful for. And it could be something that doesn't have to be specific, like, well, I'm grateful that I live in a house and I have heat and I have a comfortable place to live. Like last night I had to go out. I had to go out to I was talking to Gladiator Guru, and I had to go out to Walmart to buy my dad Pampers. Like
I guess you found it, right? You
and
found
I
it.
did, right? It was one package left in his size, right? But I was dreading it because it's Wednesday before Thanksgiving. I don't want to be out in any store. I was just like, I'm just going to go to CVS because it's, no, there's not going to be a lot of people there. I'm just going to go and do my thing. I'm like, no, you know what? I'll go. I show up. There's nobody there. Like it was, and there was so many cashiers, but it was quiet. People were nice. And I was grateful. I was grateful that the parking lot was empty. I was grateful that the store was not busy. I was grateful that people that were working there were really, they were in good spirits. And but you could see they were hustling, like they were getting ready for Black Friday. And then they, you know how like when you go the day before Thanksgiving, they have like pallets of stuff and they have signs that'll say, this is on sale, not for sale until Black Friday. So like they set it up for you so that you know they'll, it's not
They'll
ready.
tease you.
And
They
it's also
tease you with
there,
just a tip.
right, it's also there to show like that's not the price today, that's the price on Friday, right? So but here's something interesting that they did. And I sat there and said to myself, that was such a good idea. And I'm actually grateful. And I'll tell you why. The sign said, this price not available until Black Friday, but available now on Walmart.com. And I said to myself, this is beautiful because how crazy do people get on Black Friday? It could be dangerous. People have gotten hurt. People get ill, you know, this horrible feeling. People get up and get to a place early because they like, you know, they have to get there. And I thought to myself, this is so beautiful that they gave you the option of going online today and ordering it, and that's it. And then you know, you don't have to rush, you don't have to get out there, you don't have to be like, oh my god, I'm never going to get it. You're in your comfort of your own home, and then you could just order it. And I said, that's smart. That was, and I was grateful because I do worry sometimes about people's craziness. I mean, that's their choice. That's their choice to get up. I've never been that person. I've never gotten my ass up early on Friday morning to get a sale. But I do. I worry about some people. So I thought that was so nice. I like literally looked at the sign and read it and I went, that's great. That's so that I'm grateful that they decided to do that, you know, instead of being like Friday morning is when it's going to be available, period. So it doesn't have to be an outstretch. It doesn't have to be something that like an expected gratitude. Well, I have to be grateful for my children. Listen, I'm grateful for my children. There's days that they are a pain in my ass, you know, and then they might not show up on that gratitude that morning, you know, especially if one of them's being like a pain, you know, really giving me
Mm-hmm.
a hard time. Or I'll just say, I'm grateful for my children, just be able to say it, you know. But you choose what's on there and be mindful of that conditional piece. Be mindful, you know, I'm grateful for this. So even me, like not putting my children on, if I chose not to put them on that day, that's what my choice. But if I said, well, I'm grateful my children when they behave themselves, that's a condition,
It's a condition.
and it changes your energy. Like it
It
shifts your energy. It's not because it's not coming from the heart.
no.
So when you sit today, and maybe you do sit around that table with a whole bunch of people and you do give thanks, really make it count. Really say out loud what you're really thankful for. Not just throw out, I'm thankful that everybody's here. I'm thankful that we have this food and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Really give it some thought and really blow some people's mind too. Like they may be going through the table and then they get to you and people are just like, wow, that was really great.
It is. Use your senses. Use your five senses. See everything, smell everything, hear everything, speak love, you know, and feel the energy all around you. Put those five as your get go to wherever you're going, and the gratitude will just comfort you with just big warm hugs. But you gotta be grateful for all of your five senses so that then you can appreciate everyone around you. Just like right here, but that's great. Have everybody speak. I'm gonna tell you where I work now, every day they have like this, I don't know what you want to call it, a huddle. And the ED's there, and then those that come, she's like, do you have anything? No. Do you have anything? No, no. Okay, then we're done. And I'm like standing there saying, you know, I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but everybody should show up to that meeting with some, at least one thing to say.
Yes.
You know, this, and that. And I've said, today I'm going to be intentional. I'm grateful to be amongst my new co-workers or whatever. I'm grateful to be in memory care. And it's like when you dismiss it like that, did you really want to hear anything from anybody? So
That's right.
she says, Nancy Green says, am I happy? Somewhat. That's my answer. Some things can be better in my life. And you know what? That's fair. That's true. But let me tell you, let me remind, especially my women, we are traveling on this huge chessboard. Okay, there's pawns, there's kings, and there's queens. If you're somewhat and that's your answer, it's still right. There's no right or wrong answer. But play, play your moves, play your moves, because who's the most important piece on the chessboard? Badass. The queen.
Yep.
And for my
Yep.
women, that's what we are. So you wait your turn and you live in that somewhat. It's better than living in the not happy. Okay, because that's in life, that's the truth. You're somewhat. But keep playing, making your moves until you checkmate that bitch. Because that's what you can do in life. Life is a chess game. We're not playing checkers here. Who's the pawns? Are we being used as pawns? What king have we chosen to be with, knowing that it's always a queen that rules the shit out of everything? So be that queen in your life and know that, not everything's going to be up to par. The most dangerous place to be is in the palace where everybody else deems to be safe. So make your moves, choose gratitude, choose kindness, choose to be happy in whatever fucking mess you're in, or whatever beautifully divine setting you believe yourself to be in. Wherever you choose to be, or you must make a pit stop like the badass Buddha talked about New Mexico. Wherever you're choosing to be, wherever you're believing you have to be, wherever you say, up, that playing strange, be present. Because all of that, you pray, Father God, please help me. All of that you pray for, the angels are making moves on your behalf. So don't complain because it didn't go according to what you thought. Just say, okay, this is what's happening right now. Let me accept it. When you accept it, you fully understand it. So with that, we're going to be leaving. We're going to be closing early today. I love today's
Oh
conversation.
my God, it went by. I didn't realize it was at
A
the time.
lot of people, we knew, to those that have stayed on, thank you. We thank you here at Viva because it is Thanksgiving. Everybody, as you saw, Lydia, everybody wants to start early. I've never had Thanksgiving meal at 2 to 3 p.m. It's just never happened in my family household. So we don't believe in this cooking early and everybody coming over by 12. No, we ain't got time for that. But everybody starts at some point. Just do it today. Start from a different place that you were in yesterday, that you remember from last year. If you are entering today and receiving or being a part of guests today, be your best self, because that energy will emanate towards them. And then it's like a drug. It's like when you yawn, it's contagious. Everybody starts yawning. Well, bring in that joy. Let your energy carry in that joy and let it be contagious to those around you. Be the change you want to see today. That's the whole conversation we were having today. Is it not right, badass? Be
Yes.
the change you want to see today.
Yes.
I
All right.
started with the lipstick.
And I love it. You look so good in dark, bright lipstick like that. So thank you everybody for coming on and staying with us. Perhaps now it's 9 o'clock. You want to catch the Macy's parade. Well, so anyway, thank you so much, everybody, and have an absolutely wonderful Thanksgiving. And we'll see you on Tuesday, the last Tuesday of the month. We will see you next week. So take care, everybody. And from the Badass Buddha, remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary.
And from the Gladiator Guru, mi gente, remember, especially today, breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. And let's just be happy. Ciao, arrivederci.